Hi, welcome to Arkintel. We live on a planet that receives more solar energy in 1 hour than the world uses in an entire year. We've engineered wind farms that stretch across oceans, solar panels that power entire cities, and batteries that can store electricity in walls. So here's the uncomfortable question. Why are we still burning stuff? Why is 82% of world's energy still coming from fossil fuels? Why are we watching the planet heat up, grid systems collapse, and utility bills skyrocket when the technology to replace all of it already exists? Because behind the shiny solar panels and flashy headlines, there's a bottleneck, a series of fragile links in the chain that nobody wants to talk about. Today, we are pulling those into the spotlight because the idea of 100% renewable world isn't just about science, it's about politics, profit, and power. And some of what you're about to hear might surprise you. Let's start with the good news, and it's genuinely historic. Since 2010, the cost of renewable energy has fallen off a cliff. Solar photovoltaic systems are down 89%. Onshore wind slashed by 70%. Even offshore wind, once considered too expensive for mass adoption, has dropped nearly 60%. Across vast parts of the globe, renewable energy isn't just competitive, it's now the cheapest form of new electricity generation. In India, utility-scale solar projects are producing electricity at just 3 cents per kilowatt hour. In Chile, competitive energy auctions have pushed prices even lower, setting global records. These aren't outliers, they are signals of a market turning upside down. This shift should have turned the energy world on its head. After all, we are talking about a fuel source, sunlight, that's free. A wind turbine doesn't require imports. Once built, these systems run with near zero marginal cost. And that reality hasn't been lost on the oil giants, BP, Shell, and Total Energies. Companies that made their fortunes digging up fossilized carbon are now investing billions into solar fields, offshore wind farms, and next-generation green hydrogen. Not because they've had a climate epiphany, but because the business model has finally flipped. For the first time in modern energy history, the green option is also the most profitable one. But here's the twist. This market revolution hasn't triggered the kind of transformation you would expect. Fossil fuels still dominate, accounting for over 80% of global energy use. Entire countries are still building new coal plants. Even in wealthy economies, clean energy rollout is hitting walls. Why? Because generating cheap electricity isn't the same as delivering it when and where people actually need it. Solar panels don't help when it's dark. Wind turbines don't power hospitals when the breeze cuts out. The fundamental problem isn't the cost of energy. It's the control of it, the reliability, the ability to guarantee a stable supply to factories, homes, data centers, and critical infrastructure every minute of the day. And that's where the cracks starts to show. Because building wind farms is easy. Keeping the lights on when the wind stops, that's the real challenge. Electricity isn't like oil. You can't store it in barrels. It needs to be used the moment it's produced or you lose it. That's fine when you're burning coal or gas on demand. But what happens when the sun sets or the wind stops? What happens when renewables produce too much power at noon and nothing when people get home at 7 p.m.? That's the storage problem. And right now, we are nowhere near solving it. Global battery storage capacity can back up the world's electricity demand for just a few minutes. That's it. Not hours, not days, minutes. To fully back up the grid and run a 100% renewable world, we would need 400 times more storage than we currently have. Lithium-ion batteries dominate the market, but they rely on lithium, cobalt, and nickel, often sourced from countries with unstable governments, exploitative labor practices, and fragile ecosystems. Even more problematic, lithium batteries degrade over time, are expensive to scale, and can be fire hazards. Alternatives like flow batteries, molten salt, and compressed air exist, but none have hit mass adoption. So for now, the global green revolution is bottlenecked by the inability to hold on to the very power it generates. Even if we solve the storage issue, there is another ticking time bomb: the grid. Most power grids today were built for a different world, a centralized, predictable, fossil-fueled world. Coal plants run 24/7. Natural gas is easily dialed up or down. Renewables? They are decentralized, inconsistent, and weather-dependent. And our current infrastructure just can't keep up. In the United States, more than 70% of transmission lines are over 25 years old. In developing countries, power loss during transmission exceeds 15%. Even in the EU, over 200 gigawatts of clean energy projects are stalled. Not because of funding, because there is no available grid capacity to move the power where it's needed. Take the SunZia transmission project in the US, a plan to deliver wind energy from New Mexico to Arizona. It took 17 years just to get approved. That's not exceptional, that's normal. Permitting delays, land use disputes, and bureaucratic gridlocks are turning climate ambition into a slow-motion bottleneck. Some see green hydrogen as the miracle solution. Produced by splitting water using renewable electricity, it's clean, transportable, and can be used in industries that solar and wind can't easily reach, like steel making, shipping, and aviation. Governments are betting big. The EU plans to produce 10 million tons of green hydrogen annually by 2030. The US has committed $8 billion to build hydrogen hubs. Japan wants to become a hydrogen-based society. But hydrogen is inefficient. You lose about 66% of the energy during conversion, from electricity to hydrogen and back again. On top of that, green hydrogen production is still 2 to 5 times more expensive than natural gas. Transporting it requires brand new pipelines. Storage is difficult. Leakage can be dangerous. So, is it a breakthrough or a distraction? If green hydrogen can scale and costs drop, it could be a keystone of a fossil-free future. If not, we risk pouring billions into a technology that never pays off. While governments debate and mega projects stall, something very different is happening at the grassroots. In Bangladesh, over 5 million homes are powered by off-grid solar systems. In Kenya, decentralized microgrids are transforming villages, bringing electricity to places the national grid never reached. These aren't just short-term fixes, they are proof of concept. Even in wealthy countries, the shift is happening. In California, households with solar and batteries are creating virtual power plants, collectively supplying electricity back to the grid. In Germany, community-owned solar cooperatives are growing faster than utility-scale projects. These models are cheaper, more resilient, and infinitely faster to deploy. The future may be one massive grid. It may be a patchwork of microgrids, hyperlocal, clean, and built from the bottom up. So, can the world run on 100% renewable energy? Technically, yes. We have the energy, the sun, the wind, the tools. The math works. The physics are sound. But we are not just fighting physics. We are fighting inertia, outdated infrastructure, weak storage, supply chain pressure, and slow-moving policy. We are still trying to run tomorrow's energy system on yesterday's wires. This isn't just an engineering challenge. It's a global coordinated race. Every year of delay means more fossil fuel burned, more extreme weather, and more geopolitical instability. The technology is here, but unless we update the grid, fix storage, scale hydrogen, and empower local networks, we are stuck. The question isn't whether a 100% renewable world is possible, it's whether we'll build it in time. Because the sun is rising, the wind is blowing, but if we don't fix the system, the lights might not stay on. If you found this video insightful, make sure to check out Foreign Aid, the shocking truth about trillions spent. In this video, we break down what foreign aid is meant to achieve, why it often fails, and whether new approaches like direct cash transfers could finally make a difference. Click the video to watch now.